Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This one taken from the 7. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. On your screen now, here are the offensive starters. At wideout, Antonio Brown is certainly someone that the defense always has to account for.
Without a doubt, a true #1 receiver. It doesn't matter to him how defenses want to cover him. He sees it as a challenge and knows how to defeat them.
To throw on second down, Johns, and it's incomplete. And here are the Raven defensive starters.
Linebackers still often control defenses, and C.J. Mosley does exactly that for his. A Pro Bowler 3 of his first 4 years. Not only can he run and hit, he diagnoses plays so well, feels them out, and makes sure his team is organized and in the right spot.
Opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
Come on, let's go. Grand 38. Grand 38.
From the gun, Johns. Open man, Smith-Schuster. It's complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, that's how they envisioned to get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Ravens now, ready to get the football for the first time. Commanding the offense will be Lamar Jackson, the electric quarterback out of the University of Louisville.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 4 catches, 59 yards.
This defense is ranked near the bottom of the league against the pass. You get the sense that he feels like if he gets covered on any call, he's going to be upset. He thinks he should be open on every snap in this game.
Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, The quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Now Jackson on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. We take a glance now at the starters on the defensive side of the ball for Pittsburgh. They're trying to cover up some holes in the secondary. Right now, bottom 5 in the league against the pass at number 28.
And it's really difficult to prepare for this team. This is the #1 overall passing team in the NFL. But it shouldn't be hard to get excited about playing against them. The ultimate test going against that unit.
And that's why you and I are excited to broadcast this game.
Yes, sir.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Jackson from the shotgun. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive #1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. The numbers for Bell on the ground of the game last week. 22 carries, 121 yards, and a touchdown.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff, because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
This is Bell on the dump off. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Come on, let's go.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Come on, let's go. 1.
On second down, it's Bell. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Come on, let's go. Grand 38. Grand 38.
Back to throw. Johns over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A gain of 6 there on first. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Operating from the gun, Johns. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. He's already topped his receiving output from a week ago, and we're just in the first quarter, as that's a first down. How about the first quarter he's putting together out wide? Pretty impressive.
I think that he likes the fact that we're playing this as a day game. You know, some guys, they respond better in the evenings. For some reason, it builds up. For this guy, day game, and he is off and running. You're exactly right. 100 might be conservative with the start that he's had here in the first quarter.
Yeah, by the numbers, he's on pace for 200-plus right now. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
On the counter, here's Bell. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Here we go. What? 9.
To throw on 3rd down. Johns over the middle here to Brown. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And Elliott puts this one through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one. And what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football. Let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
They'll run with Marshall. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
319!
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
319!
Now Marshall. Good yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. That defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Hurry up, here we go.
On 3rd and 1, Jackson. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Pass interference. Defense.
Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up 4th. Now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
First red zone chance now for the Ravens. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. Now it's Jackson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. That's going to go as a loss of a full 8 yards. It sets them back for 2nd down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and have the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Damian Ratley, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Ravens have cut it to within a score. And that was really just a great battle for that football on both sides. The result is a touchdown.
Ordinarily, I'd like to say it was a win-win, but it really wasn't because the defender, while he was there with excellent coverage, he didn't get the benefit, did he?
But he's not going to get chewed up in film session, will
No,
he?
he was right there. They'll tell him, okay, of course you need to knock the ball away, but they won't be too upset with him. He did his job for the most part.
Tucker with the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. And they've got it here with a 1st down. From the gun, Johns. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Here we go.
Throwing again. Johns. Pass incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle. Going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that. They might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
On 3rd down, Johns. This one complete, right side to McDonald. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding. Offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long.
Here we go. What? 90.
Operating from the gun. Johns. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, You're really almost discrediting their work.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
That's a lot of beef thundering downfield off of the toss play, and it takes me back to when I was a kid and watching USC play. Remember the old toss that they ran? They used to call it student body right or student body left because everyone was out in front of the ball carrier. In fact, one of their favorite plays, it was called rose stem right or rose stem left, depending on the formation, 28 toss. And 28 toss was their bread and butter.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Second down, here's Jackson. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
Now Jackson on third down. He's going to float this one deep right. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Damian Ratley, his 10th touchdown of the season, second of the game. And the Ravens are in for 6. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And the lead is now 14-10. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And the Steelers set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Here we go! Grand 38!
They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Come on, let's go! White 90! White 90!
Looking to throw on second down. Johns goes underneath for Bell. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
It's never a bad idea to try and get it to Antonio Brown, but it must be a little bit of the Madden curse going on for our cover athlete here. Hasn't been able to get that elite separation that we're used to seeing from him.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Come on, let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And the Steelers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Come on, let's go. What?
From the gun, Johns. He gets it to Brown. Good play. And he's taken down inside the 30. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Let's go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
On 1st and 10, Johns looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. To throw again. Johns. Man open left side is Brown. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Come on, let's go.
Again to Bell. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Come on, let's go. What? 90. What? 90.
The give is to Bell. And he stopped immediately there. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. To throw on 3rd down, Johns. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play, because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going. But we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. And here's Marshall. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On 2nd down, Jackson. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there of 22.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now Jackson, he's going to float this one deeper. And this is caught at the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 36 yards. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Jackson certainly giving the Ravens a spark in his rookie year. He's got them on the move with a first down.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Jackson looking to throw on 2nd down. And it's caught. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Leopard. Leopard.
Now it's Jackson. That's complete right around the 8. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. They need to reverse the trend. The last two plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Here we go now. Green 30.
Jackson. And this is complete. It's Marshall. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
The linebacker Ryan Shazier there to make the tackle.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Jackson. Flush to his right. That is caught. It's Perriman. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
This is Marshall. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Leopard! Detroit!
Now Jackson on first down. He's going to air one out. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping Those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2nd and 9 now from the 21.
Let's go. Grand 38.
To throw on 2nd down. Johns over the middle, complete. That's Brown. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
There's a man they call AB, always a volume receiver. He gobbles up catches. Holds the number 2 and number 4 spots for most receptions in a season in NFL history. And in 2015, just 7 catches shy of setting the single-season mark for most receptions.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Let's go. Grand 38.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. That'll get a little bit back, give him 5 on the run, and they'll be left with a 3rd and 13.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
The Steelers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Operating from the gun. Johns under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? 3rd and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll go on the ground. Finding some room at midfield. And finally taken down at the 34. A big run there. 29 yards and a 1st.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side, but how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
Let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Detroit. Detroit.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. He sets to fire deep. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. They only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's going to let this one go deep. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Damian Rattling, 31 yards. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Well, there was a little extra pressure with that one because it was third down. He didn't care. He snagged it with one hand like it was routine.
The key is to make a play in a tough situation. Doesn't matter how, and in this case, one-handed gets it done. Terrific play for us to watch.
Tucker now for the extra point. Tucker with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. C.J. Mosley coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Here we go. White 90.
From the gun, Johns. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A good pickup there at 22.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Let's go. White 90.
They'll go again with Bell. And some room to maneuver. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
Okay, let's face it. Most of the offensive linemen in today's NFL, they're going to weigh over 300 pounds. But that doesn't mean they don't have agility. And the way that they can get out in front of a runner and create a space, sometimes it looks like they're going in one direction, and the runner uses his eyes to take him in another direction because it's been blocked so well. Love those misdirection or counter plays, and this one worked really well for a nice piece of yardage.
Incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Let's go. Man 38.
They'll run it down out of the gun. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 3rd down, Johns. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Brown. And down inside the 15 he goes. He's up to 70 yards receiving now as that last catch gets him a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Come on, let's go.
They'll go back to the ground with Bell. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lunch. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. The Steelers on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 5.
Here we go.
Operating from the gun. Johns. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And that'll make this an 8-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
This one taken just inside the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. And they'll go with the ground attack here. Oh, eluding the tackle. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
But he was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Jackson now to throw on 2nd down. He's going to float this one. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They give him a gain of 38.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Now let's go.
Jackson on 1st down. That's caught out left by Perriman. An agile move, but not a huge gain. Dropped at the 25. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Jackson. He'll buy some time right. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this 2nd half. Instead, it's 3rd down. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities. You get over anxious and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, I've got to give him some credit there. He tried to sell the out route, tried to sell it hard. And as a receiver, what you're really trying to do is maneuver a defender inside to give yourself a little more cushion breaking to the out. But how about the defender reading it really well, not buying the fake or the maneuver inside, and getting to the sideline and helping break up the pass?
So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super tough. They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Let's go. What? 9.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Johns. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. And now it's 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10.
Let's go. Grand 38. Grand 38.
From the gun, Johns. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And taken right on the 30. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They stay on the ground. This is Marshall again. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Green 39. Green 39.
Here's Jackson to throw on 3rd down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Here we go. What? 90. What? 90.
Throwing again. Johns. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove.
To throw on 3rd down. Johns. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently, so that's just going to be an incompletion.
And that's why defenders are often frustrated offensive guys. Actually made the catch, looked good doing it, but couldn't get his feet down in order to finish off the takeaway.
Looking to throw. Johns. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. On fourth down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, fourth down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now Jackson on second down, escaping the pressure right. Finding room inside the 40, and he is out of bounds inside the 35. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
That's something we have not seen him do to this point, and that's take the ball, tuck it, and run.
Exactly right. His first carry of the game. I guess he picked a good time to do it.
He certainly did. Not only did he have the element of surprise, he's making sure he's judicious in taking off.
And they'll run it here. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Now they'll run it on the toss. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They keep it on the ground, and this time it's Murray. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
The Ravens on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. Here it's 3rd and 3. They come out here in the eye. On third down, Murray. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Latavius Murray, his first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Back to the air on second down. Johns. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Brown. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Let's go. White 90. White 90.
On third down, Johns. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. They convert on third with a gain of 22. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Throwing on first down, Johns. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. On first down, Johns. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down.
Well, man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there.
Come on, let's go. What?
To throw again, Johns. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
Come on, let's go. White 90.
To throw on third down, Johns. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So they just got the football on an interception. They almost gave it right back the same way.
And, you know, when you look over to the bench after that type of a play, number one is pure relief. Didn't give it up. But it's not the coach you're worried about yelling at you. It's those guys on defense who just intercepted the pass who want to break over there. Hey, take care of the football, man.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. 30. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Keith Marshall, 87 yards. And the Ravens will extend their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Tucker now to add the point after. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
They get the tackle, Marcus Gilbert, second-round pick back in 2011 out of Florida. A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6.
Come on, let's go.
Operating from the gun. Johns on the left side. It's McDonald. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Let's go. Grand 38. Grand 38.
On 1st and 10, Johns throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Charles, I think back to your earlier statement about the visitors being the underdogs needing to win that turnover battle. And this defense, they forced 2 turnovers so far, a big reason why they lead this game.
Yeah, and I know defenses always talk about getting turnovers in bunches, getting those takeaways. 2's not a bunch, but it's plenty in this game, exactly the formula they need. I got to tell you, partner, I like it when you think back to something I said that actually comes true, that's actually right.
That happens more often than you might think. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant you a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Baltimore, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they will head home next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner.